Hi, today a few words about how our brain tricks us whenever we fail. I'm thinking about failure in any sort of contests like interview or dating or anywhere where some sort of hierarchy of quality needs to be established in order to reveal a winner. If you look at how our brains evolved during the times when we were escaping tigers and all that, the designation of a winner was very simple. The one that survives is a winner. And if you think about it this way, if you have a tribe of people that's running away from a dangerous animal, you don't have to outrun the entire tribe. You have to outrun only one person. And that's what's the difference between nowadays situation or nowadays situation. I understand these contests of quality existed throughout history, but right now the hierarchy of expertise is super vertical. In time of internet and social media, we have access to the most skilled, most expert opinions, performances, or mentors. If you, for example, want to learn to play guitar, you click something on your computer and you can see one of the best guitar players on the planet teaching you exactly that. It's no longer that you ask your neighbor to explain it to you. You have direct access to the best of the best. And this is a bit deprecating for the self-esteem of everybody else who's the second best. So look how it changed, right? In the olden days, you escaped the tiger by outrunning the slowest, the worst guitar player. Right now, if you're not the best, if you're not top 10, that's basically it. You're not getting the audience as the other guy. And this is similar for any sort of interview situations, or for example, you're trying to get a date, and there's some sort of competition, right? There's some sort of selection ritual involved. But let's take the interview because that's kind of easier to talk about. It doesn't really need much context. When you're interviewing for a role, it's very difficult to realize that there are potentially over 100 candidates having applied for the same role, to the same role. And whenever you're failing, whenever you're not getting the feedback that you expected, it's very easy to take it as a personal failure. So the brain thinks that you are the last person that failed to escape the tiger. Right? And the reason for that is because you don't see the other 100 candidates, how they performed in the interview situation, what was the feedback the interviewer gave to the rest. And it's not uncommon that the interviewer is placed in a very difficult situation as well. It's like picking the least favorite child. It's super difficult for the interviewer to pick a person, for example, from 3 candidates that went to the last stage, to the final stage of the interview. And again, you have no visibility of that when you're being interviewed, and you don't know if maybe all of the 100 went to the last stage, right? There's no way for you to judge, and brain likes to play tricks like that. Brain likes to place yourself in the position of at the worst possible outcome. Like, okay, I have failed this interview, obviously. There's something wrong with me. And I came last in the sample size of 1. 100% of people of me failed the process. So failing, so there's plenty wrong in thinking this way. First of all, it's very self-destructive. You'll wind up with conviction that you are somehow inadequate. Whereas this is not the case in most cases. And yes, I can tell you from experience, in most cases, it's not that you're inadequate, it's that somebody else was slightly more adequate. When you see sprinters at the Olympics perform, you will notice like split-second difference between all these excellent runners. And it's not that all of them are inadequate and only one wins. They all performed perfectly. They all performed to the best of their abilities. But only one can be chosen. So, whenever a failure like that takes place in your life, be thankful for it, because it's a good experience. Right? That's the best way you can turn it into success. Now, it's great if you have an interviewer that can give you some feedback on your interview performance, and treat it as a gift, because in most cases an interviewer will feel it's not their place to coach you on your interview skills or point out shortcomings in your experience. So if they do give it to you, that's a serious gift. It's always a good idea to have somebody practice interviews with you, so you can, it's like rubber duck debugging, right? If you even interview yourself to a camera and then play it to yourself, you can spot bits and pieces where you need to practice. It's not nearly as good as having a live person, especially one that's actually experienced in the matter, kind of check your interview skills and your interview preparation. But sometimes it's actually good enough. All right, so I think we'll wrap this one up. It's a short video. Remember, there's no tiger here, and even if you lose, you're still winning, because it's an experience that's worth adding to your pool of experiences. Thanks for being here.